Welcome to ePathashala. I am Devika Madali, Professor, Documentation Research and Training Center, Indian Statistical Institute. I would like to talk about an introduction to information retrieval. This is under the Information Storage and Retrieval course. Information retrieval is a complex procedure and a process, mainly today because the collection is web-based and it is online. It is huge and it is growing at a very exponential rate, and also the collection is very heterogeneous in content. For example, it could be containing of simple text or a combination of text, image, video and different kinds of media which are not even known to the common person maybe, and this is also a part of the web and need to be retrieved in answer to information need. So, because of the heterogeneous content and the large exponential growth of collection on the online medium, there is certainly new challenge to IR. On the other hand, the challenge is also from the user side. Users and user needs are evolving according to the evolving of the medium itself and of the collection itself. So, in today's world, the user needs has very little time to retrieve complex material. They have very little time to formulate their query, and they have very little time to refine and issue the query again. In such a situation, it becomes a huge IR challenge when we have a large evolving heterogeneous content on one hand, and we have a user body on the other hand with very complicated user query which has not given much time for retrieval. The challenges for IR certainly are huge. Introduction to information retrieval. Data and information generation in every discipline of the universe of knowledge have seen a staggering growth over the last few decades. Storing, managing, querying and retrieval of huge amount of data and information today need sophisticated procedures and also very advanced and suitable technologies. Information need of the user has a very complex nature. Many models have been developed to understand the information need of human beings today, and still undoubtedly this area remains a problem to be understood, and also there are many open questions to be answered about how an end user will seek information, how they will understand their information need, and how they will actually go to a system and express the information need, and how they attempt to retrieve something against that information need. So, all this is studied under many areas such as user behavior, query analysis and such areas, but still this is one interesting area where research problems exist. And this is also the second part that is involved in IR. So, one part is in the collection itself. The collection today is not limited, it is very huge, it is online, it is heterogeneous and it is growing at an exponential rate. So, that is the first challenge. On the other side is the user and the complex nature of users' information needs, and also the complexity of how the user will actually approach systems in trying to retrieve, in trying to express and retrieve what they require against an information need. So, this is the basis upon which today's IR systems need to grow. So, we need to look at what is the need for information retrieval. Need for information retrieval. So, the need of IR came into picture due to the factors that have been discussed now, and some of the factors are the sheer size and number of documents that increased where no traditional cataloging system can handle or give any kind of technical support today, and libraries had little or limited scope in terms of document processing, handling of different e-resources or sharing heterogeneous data and information over internet. Also, there are so many different disciplines or domains existing. So different disciplines such as, for example, earth observation or biotechnology or genetics that have evolved, these are producing many different types of data which computers support and in multiple number of file formats, and these also need to be indexed, stored, understood. They have to be represented in some way, they have to be organized, that means, and they must be retrieved. These data are maybe structured, they may be semi-structured, or many times these resources like web pages and e-resources are unstructured. So this is another issue that needs to be addressed under IR. On the web, different organizations started publishing and sharing information, and actually this should be pre-processed, filtered and modeled, and to be able to give a general structure in two documents in the web environment. But that is not happening. Different organizations just started publishing and populating documents as and when they can produce information, whereas in a classic IR system, documents need to be indexed, they have to be scanned, and for coining certain information that goes into bibliographic elements. So that would be a kind of a structured metadata available on document, but no such thing is available on the web. Subsequently, this big difference created a technical paradigm shift, and this necessitated to invent new theory and concepts for handling e-resources, rather than in the classic IR environment where everything was rather in a controlled environment, and there was a library and a librarian's approach in organizing and retrieving resources. So librarian's approach towards indexing is based upon what we call as pre-coordination system, and both the success and efficiency of indexing used here heavily depended upon some kind of classification systems, for example colon classification. So based upon, we know very well in library science that based upon colon classification system, the chain indexing system was developed by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, which was used to index documents, which later was used to retrieve with a fairly predictable success in precision. So this kind of issues that are discussed necessitates the need for information retrieval. As we know, in the online environment or the web environment, we cannot expect only text documents. There are different forms of media in the document collection, and generally these media are maybe text, it may be image, it could be graphics, it could be audio, and audio could be just sounds or some kind of a instrument producing the sound. It could be a speech, as in a speech of a person, or it could be music pieces, whether it is songs sung by persons or instrumental music. So all these together contributes to audio, and the content could also be in the form of video, as we know popular example of YouTube, or it could be animations or a string of this. And we also have to know that the web document could be a combination of many of these media, which generally it is now. Whenever we go to some website, most probably it is more than one of these media that we are going to get. So documents. So to different documents, we can have these many categories. The document can be monomedia document, like having text only documents, official records, etc., where there can be text means alphabetical text, or official records could be numeric records, a numeric recording kind of a document. Then there could be multimedia documents, means these documents have got different media inside them. And then there could be hypertext documents. These documents have got hyperlinks. Okay, such documents which have got hyperlink are also known as nonlinear document, for the simple reason that there are links that lead a person from one document to another, and again in the another document there could be links that lead to yet another document. So it is not a linear one time reading kind of document. It becomes non-linear kind of a thing whenever hypertext is embedded in documents. Then as a progression of this discussion, there could be hypermedia documents. That means that has got multimedia plus hypertext. That means the link that leads from one document to another may not lead from text to text essentially. For example, it could lead, the hyperlink can lead to from text, for example, to an image. To give a popular example, there can be a person's name, say Obama. When somebody clicks on the name of Obama, it could lead to a picture of Obama. So that means the hyperlink here from text, it is leading to the picture of Obama. Or it could be in text, they can write that there could be state of the nation speech can be the text, and when somebody, a link is created over here, and when somebody clicks state of the union speech, when somebody clicks on that text, it could lead to the audio excerpt of the speech being delivered, or it could lead to a video coverage of the state of the union speech. So this is called hypermedia, where different kinds of media resources could be interlinked using hyperlinks. And also there, in today's world, we know that there could be user generated documents, and these could be the most popular example of this could be tweets or comments and blogs. So there are so many different kinds of documents that are not essentially traditional documents at all. So all these kind of collection, the issues discussed together have necessitated the need for information retrieval. So let us look at what information retrieval is today in this parlance. What is information retrieval? Information retrieval includes representation, storage, organization, accessing information which actually meets up with the user's. IR includes document clustering and categorization, classification of documents, system architecture, information and data visualization, and some allied services, ranking of documents, semantic linking, filtering, among many others. Search engines have been developed based upon the concepts, principles and techniques developed by IR. Based on the different types of services, IR can be categorized as web search or personalized IR, enterprise or institutional service based IR, or domain specific IRs. IRs can also be categorized as web based IR system, digital libraries, multimedia IR and distributed IR systems, depending upon where it is deployed. So there are certainly many advantages of information retrieval, because information retrieval, as explained already, involves very complex procedures of representation, of organization, of access and of retrieval. It includes the whole gamut of activities, right from putting together a collection till retrieval. So the importance of IR is felt when there was a necessity to locate or get shared information without restrictions. The advantages of IR can be described as: the IR system is defined in such a way it can accept queries in natural language and execute matching operation with its index term at backend and locate the expected document from its term document matrix. After executing the queries, search engine represents the result with ranks as a specific using specific ranking algorithms, for example PageRank. It runs on the fetched result. Preferably the most relevant documents get top ranks than non-relevant ones. So there is an advantage where the user gets an indication of what may be more relevant for his or her purposes. As most IR systems or in the web parlance search engines index the document on incremental basis, web-based crawlers call web pages in hyperspace within certain time interval and get updated information, and they can also further index the crawl information. IR system has opened up huge of course, huge business opportunities through web environment. So let us look at the origin of IR itself. Approach to manage and organize large collection of information actually came from librarianship. It can be claimed that cataloging is the primordial soup for the birth of information retrieval. So Eliot and Rose claimed in 3rd century BC that the Greek poet first created his own cataloging scheme for managing personal collection. So it is as old as that the concept of cataloging for retrieval was already evolved. In ancient periods, some big libraries were built. For example, the library at Alexandria had more than 700,000 documents. Nalanda University had one huge library of document collection, but the existence of any mechanism to organize or classify or retrieve information was not known. In 1891, Rudolph filed a patent to US Patent Office for a machine-composed catalog cards joined together, which could be wound past a viewing window, enabling rapid manual scanning of catalogs. Soper in 1918 filed another patent for a device where catalog cards with hold related to categories were aligned in front of each other to determine if these were the entries in a collection with a particular combination of categories. If light could be seen through the arrangement of cards, it will seem like the match is found. Emanuel Goldberg was the first person who worked to solve that problem in the 1920s and 30s. What he created was an optical device which basically searched for a pattern of dots or letters within catalogs on a roll of microfilm. So Goldberg patented many of his inventions in photography. This can be seen as a graphical representation, the optical machine of Goldberg. In 1935, Davis and Draeger also made several experiments on similar line as Goldberg on microfilm based searching, and the final and the large significant invention was Vannevar Bush's, which developed the famous MEMEX system in 1945. Continuing the history of IR, Rudolph Shaw implemented Rapid Selector in US Department of Agriculture, the USDA library. This machine was developed under the supervision of engineers in MIT, and they worked on earlier version of the Rapid Selector on the consent from Bush and delivered the same to the Agricultural Department in around 1949. So as we can see, it was a quick succession of work in IR that led to some kind of progress and betterment of the systems. In 1948, Holmstrom showed that UNIVAC could be capable of searching for text references attached to subject code, which used to be stored on magnetic tapes and could process about 120 words a minute. This is the first known fact where computer was used to search contents. During 1950s, many projects were undertaken related to IR in different organizations like the GE or General Electric. Important milestones include the coordinate and uniterm indexing by TOP, which came about around 1951. Other important milestones include, of course, the Crane Field 1 and 2 experiments studied by ASLIB under the supervision of C.W. Cleverdon, using uniterm classification and other alphabetical classification subject systems such as universal catalog, faceted and decimal classification scheme. The main objective of the experiment centered around the investigation of the cost of indexing, the cost of preparing a physical index, and the cost of searching. The other tests include the Cranefield WRU test parallel to Cranefield 1 test, and also the Cranefield 2 test of 1963 to 66, which was executed by Cleverdon, Mills and Keel, and it was evaluated majorly on two measures of recall and precision, though such measures were also used in earlier systems. Weinberg report of 63 of Science, Government and Information identified the problem of information transfer process and managing growing number of information along with its crisis. This report put forward the urgency to address and formulate advanced techniques to retrieve information and manage and store them with convenience. This report made recommendations separately to technical community as well as the government agencies. In 1968, the project report was published by the INFEX database design in MIT. This system could read the machine readable, flexible, analytically structured catalog record format. Effort was also given to the creation from each document to a set of complete index term phrases and to the problems of matching these unconstrained terms with similarly unconstrained subject phrase requests. So, these are the terminology used from the original reports of those projects, which were of course important milestones in the development of IR as we know it today. One of the important systems or the milestones in IR is of course the SMART retrieval system. SMART stands for System for the Mechanical Analysis and Retrieval of Text Information Retrieval System, developed by under the leadership of Salton in Cornell University in the 1960s. This system incorporated many important concepts like vector space model, relevance feedback and Roccio classification, which till this day are quite relevant in the IR research. In 1968, Salton published his famous book titled Automatic Information Organization and Retrieval. J.W. Salmon in 1969 gave the idea of visualization interface integrated to IR system in his paper A Nonlinear Mapping of Data Structure Analysis, and the first online systems started occurring with the National Library of Medicine's AIM-TWX, Medline, Lockheed's Dialog and SDC's Orbit. So, we know that NLM's Medline is one of the very popular service, and it has the retrieval component that is much researched and written about. During 1966 to 67, F.W. Lancaster evaluated MEDLARS, which stands for Medical Literature Analysis and Retrieval System. It is a demand search service. MEDLARS eventually gave birth to what is known as AIM-TWX. He also evaluated that during 70 and 71. So, MEDLARS and AIM-TWX were the previous version of PubMed, Medline's PubMed. Continuing the important milestones, in 1975, 3 publications from Salton gave a tremendous impetus to research in IR community. They are the classics, a theory of indexing, a theory of term importance in automatic text analysis, and the use of the paper on the use of vector space model for automatic indexing. The ACM SI-GIR conference started in 1978, which subsequently emerged as the apex conference in this field. So, to this day, the SIG-IR conferences deal with very important breakthroughs in the latest IR systems. Belkin, Odie and Brooks gave the concept of ASK, anomalous state of knowledge for IR, in 1982. One important invention that happened during 1982 to 88 was the formulation of the Okapi model. It was developed at Polytechnic of Central London. Okapi is a set-oriented ranked output design for probabilistic type retrieval of textual material using inverted index. Of course, after this, the major breakthrough was 1989, where Tim Berners-Lee proposed the World Wide Web in CERN laboratory. After the WWW, it was practically a changed world. The kind of collection, the kind of IR activities and research in IR completely changed, because the web changed the way documents are produced and shared in the world. The TREC conference started as part of the TRIPSTER text program in 1992, and this was sponsored by the US Defense and National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is the NIST, and the popular PageRank algorithm was developed by Stanford University by Larry Page and Sergey Brin in 1996. After that, there have been again significant developments such as the latent Dirichlet allocation, DLDA, a generative topic model in NLP that was developed by David Lee, Andrew Ng and Michael Jordan in 2003. So, LDA is similar to probabilistic latent semantic analysis and latent semantic indexing, and this has gained a huge popularity in WWW of late. 1997 of course saw the birth of Google Inc., which is now ruling dominantly in search engine domain and developing many IR models that deal with complicated IR issues and problems. So, the present situation of the web and the environment of search engine did not evolve overnight. It has been a product, like we have seen, over decades long research. It has been the effort to evolve as the collection and the complexity of the collection also occurred. So, as we have seen, there were just documents of the web, and then came in the late 80s and the 90s the web, and then came the new challenges with exploding information and the exploding and complex nature of users' need on the web, and then came also the evolution of more and more sophisticated technology. So, when we trace all these kind of development, we can also see that IR systems have been trying to catch up with all the complexities and trying to give better and better solutions over the period of time. So, to summarize the discussion, we have seen what are all the steps and in the evaluation or evolution of IR that was involved. We understand that IR is not a simple task anymore, and that it has not evolved just overnight. It has taken decades long of very intensive research to reach where we are. But that does not even mean that in future there will not be challenges. As the web evolves and as the online collection is getting more and more vast and more complex in nature, the challenges for IR will also grow. But luckily there are very time tested and experienced research work which are giving also solutions. These are reported in very popular conferences that for IR like SIG-IR and TREC very regularly, and we are seeing the result of modern IR system being reported from time to time. So, this module deals with the importance and the evolution of IR and IR techniques.